way.
Did you give anyone CPR?
Yeah, I gave a mannequin CPR.
Can I be the next participant?
I thought we were already live.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Mad Dawgs podcast. This is episode 6. When you are seeing this, it is Monday, January 17th. And happy MLK Day, everyone. We're off school. I know a couple of you are off work, so that's nice. And we get a podcast up. So, fun stuff. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, I want to thank you for watching on YouTube. If you're watching, if you're listening on Spotify, thank you for listening. Sport's been great, and we're going to keep pumping out a ton of content for you guys. So yeah, big thank you from us. All right. This weekend was Wildcard Weekend. Meat and potatoes. Meat and potatoes.
Meat and taters.
So that's like the main course of the show.
Yeah.
What kind of meat? Pork chops? Steak? Chicken?
Steak
Ribs?
and potatoes, probably. Steak and potatoes.
Not a big mixing guy.
That sounds good.
It's almost like it's a more iconic duo than probably the Cowboys and choking in the first round playoffs. So.
You did it.
A little contest. If y'all can tell us the number of times we had on the Cowboys this whole podcast, you get a shout out, I guess. I'll like
but
your
you have
tweet.
to guess it now.
I'm going to delete my life right now.
You get a $19 Fortnite card.
All right, so this weekend was Wildcard Weekend. We get 3 days of NFL football, NFL playoff football. And let's start with Saturday's games. The first one was the Raiders and the Bengals. Joey B and the boys get it done 26-19 at home. Their first playoff win in 31 years, if you can believe that. Joey B, the truth. What I do want to say real quick is Derek Carr threw for 300 yards, touchdown and a pick. He threw in some tight windows. He played pretty good. He played good at times, but couldn't get it done. Do you think Derek Carr is going to be good in Las Vegas for a little while, or do you think they kind of are like tired of him?
I think he will.
I think he's all right.
I think he's got a couple more years left in him.
He's lost a lot of weapons this year. They've lost a lot of players, like due to injury, and he still ended up managing making the playoffs. So
yeah,
they are in one of the toughest divisions. They are in one of the toughest divisions and still had success.
I think you have to have a defense to help out your offense.
Their defense made strides this year. I will say that.
They were a lot better this year than they were last year because they were bottom of the league last year, I think, in total defense.
They lost Henry Ruggs to his killer speed. Really hate to see it.
What are we supposed to say after that? Like,
you
want us to comment on it?
You could have thought he was Lightning McQueen.
More like Chick Hicks.
He hopped out saying Corvette.
All right.
Woo-wee.
So did y'all all watch the game? Did y'all watch the end of that game?
I got to watch most of it, yeah.
I didn't watch it. I was at the state.
Okay. Well, the last play of the game, Derek Carr threw a pick at the end of the game, and
wasn't even at the yards.
I agree. But you have guys like Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller, your playmakers, but he tried to fit it in the tightest window possible to Zay Jones. And I don't know if that's the right play call there. If you're head coach right there, are you trying to draw up to Darren Waller or Hunter Renfrow, a guy like your playmaker? Because I don't really agree with the call to try to get it to Zay Jones on the last play of the game.
You got to go Darren Waller right there, right? Like, I mean, first of all, obviously he can catch, but the size advantage he gives you, especially for like a jump ball or something.
I'd like to think they had everybody they could possibly put on Renfrow and Waller on Renfrow and Waller. Another thing is you got to take a shot to the end zone. It don't matter who you throw it to. At least throw it to the end zone.
They still look like they would have been a yard short even if Zay Jones called it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to throw it in the end zone.
That's just kind of the cherry on top on how stupid that play call was, or that decision was.
I mean, if you want to throw something up to Brent Edwards, he's 6'5". I mean, give somebody a chance.
Anything but what they did.
Yeah, Zay Jones, I don't think is the answer. But if you go look at the replay, Darren Waller was kind of on a wheel route almost. And it looked like he was one-on-one with a cornerback. And again, like Hitch said, the size advantage, I'm giving that ball to Waller all day. Like every if I make that throw every time, I'm throwing that ball to Darren Waller.
We got 10 minutes, Wookie.
Do what?
We got 10 minutes.
All right. Anyways, now it. Okay, interesting. All right.
Let's see if you have good editing skills.
I have great editing skills. I don't understand the play call still. Like I keep like running it over in my head because like I kind of wanted that game to go into overtime because like overtime games in the playoffs, that's kind of where guys get made, right? That's where Derek Carr would kind of find his footing. And if Joey B is a young prodigy like we think he is or like we know he is, he gets made in the playoffs. And it just doesn't make sense. And the interim head coach for Las Vegas this year did such a great job to get that team to the playoffs. Like if you would have told me that at the beginning of the year after Gruden got fired, and if you would have told me after Ruggs, got in trouble and got kicked off the team, if you would have told me that the Raiders still made the playoffs, I wouldn't have believed you. So the interim coach did such a good job. The Las Vegas Raiders re-signed that guy, right? Like, I'm not crazy to think that.
Yeah, for sure. What do y'all think about the dude? I don't know if all y'all saw it, but the little kind of squib kick that the dude picked up at the 2-yard line and went out of bounds. Y'all see that?
No, are you
can't forget
about
it. The Barber thing.
Where he didn't touch the out of bounds before he touched the ball?
Yeah,
I've seen
about that. That was
stupid.
Fuck them. Yeah.
I mean, if you play football, you got to know the rules.
Shit like that is what lost the Raiders that game. There was another big play. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was ridiculous. Like, the difference in you being able to get the ball at the 35-yard line and the 2-yard line, based on him not going out of bounds right there, like you pinned yourself on a fucking kickoff.
And that was the Raiders' best chance of winning that game. The Bengals, Jamar Chase was the only player other than Joe Burrow that played good on offense.
Yeah, I think T. Higgins only had one or two catches.
Yeah, T. Higgins didn't do anything. Tyler Boyd was kind of slow. I mean, they didn't really have a whole lot going on. The Raiders couldn't win on that game. That was their only chance. But those little mistakes like that is what cost them that game. I think they could have at least forced overtime if it wasn't for stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. Derek Carr made some incredible throws down the stretch too. He hit Waller. I know he hit Waller on one play, man. He threw an absolute laser beam over the middle of the field. And only where Darren Waller could get it, Darren Waller makes a great play. And it kind of brings it up again. Like, how do you not find Darren Waller on the last play of the game? I assume that Hunter Renfrow was blanketed. They probably had a cornerback and a safety kind of shadowing him. But Darren Waller, a wheel route inside the 10, one-on-one with a cornerback or a safety. I don't really know who it was exactly. I want to say it was a Wouzier for some reason. And I trust Waller one-on-one against a Wouzier.
Oh, you take Waller at a Wouzier all day long.
Yeah.
I will tell you that freaking now. I've seen it too many times. Too many.
Yeah. On the other side, Joe Burrow, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns. Didn't turn the ball over, and I think that's a big thing for Joe Burrow. First playoff game, he goes and does that. But Jamar Chase looked unguardable again. He had another good day, and this time, again, the Raiders secondary, not a top tier secondary, but a much improved secondary. And this is a team for the Bengals who, if their offense is clicking, they're the best offensive team in football. With the weapons they got Joe Mixon in the backfield, a young quarterback in Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, C.J. Uzoma, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase. All those guys are really, really good. And and it was only really Jamar Chase last night, but it was enough to win. And I think this seems so fun to watch too. I'm really excited for them to play the Titans next Sunday or Saturday, whenever it is.
Is anyone worried, even though they started off pretty fast, they ended pretty slow? 20 points in the first half, only 6 in the second.
I'm not really worried. You just got to get more people involved.
Yeah.
I would agree with that for sure. Like, if they say that Jamar Chase is the only guy being productive against them, they're going to eliminate him. Good teams will eliminate him.
Yeah.
That's when T. Higgins and all the other guys, Boyd, got to get involved.
Mm-hmm. Which we've seen that they can get involved. T. Higgins with the 200 whatever yard performance earlier this year.
Yeah, we have seen it.
We know Joe Burrow likes him, and Tyler Boyd's explosive too when he's open. And Joe Mixon, when he's used out of the backfield as a receiving threat, he's really good. And they got 3 very good wide receivers, and it's hard to cover. A lot of secondaries don't have 3 guys to cover those 3 wide receivers for Cincinnati. And I don't think, Las Vegas had that. And I thought that their main focus would be Jamar Chase, and it wasn't. But it obviously was Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. So
I will say that the Raiders defense stepped up big time that second half. They were flying.
Yeah.
They were flying around, making plays. Like,
credit to them for keeping it a close game. Honestly, I thought the Bengals would come out and beat them by 10 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
And JoJo, I think it's time to say it. That Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow connection is better than Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. I'm sorry. Ooh. The connection.
We told you there'd be hot takes on this podcast.
I'm not saying talent-wise. I'm saying connection-wise.
You still
No. Yeah, it is.
These guys have been playing with each other for like 5 years, though. Well, no. Joe Burrow coming in.
So has Aaron Rodgers and Devontae. I'm just saying, like, the timing and everything, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Joe Burrow is, Joe Burrow's still young, and Jamar Chase, probably his number one option almost every play, it feels like. But even on the plays like Aaron Rodgers probably doesn't have Devontae as his first read, Devontae's just always open. So, of course he loves Devontae because he gets open.
Yeah, he's in the top 2, and he's not number 2.
I'm not talking about receiver-wise. I'm talking about connection-wise, JoJo.
He can do anything better than Chase. Or Justin Jefferson or Cooper Kupp.
He's still arguing. I'm agreeing with him. Jesus Christ.
Kind of the next thing I want to talk about is they play Tennessee. They play at Tennessee next weekend. The Titans getting probably healthy. I would imagine they would have everybody back. I think he's good enough, and I think I know y'all's answers, but why is Joe Burrow good enough to beat Tennessee on the road next weekend and get to the AFC Championship?
Oh, Joe Shiesty is about to tear up Tennessee's defense. He's about to tear them up.
I feel like
the only thing I'm worried about is the Bengals.
Bengals don't tear them up? Who the heck is relevant on Tennessee's defense other than he's on the D-line?
He's the next greatest quarterback.
I said of the D-line. Yeah.
Jeffrey Simmons is on the D-line.
That's what I'm saying. If they don't get to Burrow, though, the secondary is trash.
Bengals don't have the best rush D, though.
Yeah, they don't. And Derrick Henry.
He's going to be this next generation's Brett Favre.
Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow is going to be the next generation's Brett Favre.
I can see about to set the new picks record.
No, that's probably Dak.
Whoa.
Hey.
Whoa.
Wait, what was that?
That was so late. We don't even have. Anyways,
I saw all y'all laughing. I didn't understand what he said.
Anyways, it's too late. You ruined
for the better. I
think the Bengals go in there, and I really do think they beat the Titans in a close one. I think the Titans have kind of just like – I know Derrick Henry's good, and I'm not trying to take anything away from him because I do like Derrick Henry.
Well, I think you are.
Well, I am, actually, with this next statement. I think this is kind of like the Titans' luck because, again, they should have – they didn't play great in some games down the stretch. They barely beat the Titans or the Texans. Sorry, they barely beat the Texans, and
give us respect.
I just think. Sorry. I think that they go in there. I think the Titans will kind of look towards the AFC Championship because they're going to be playing at home or whatever. I think the Bengals come out on top on this one. I don't know why. I think Joe Burrow, those were like 3 or 4 touchdowns and kind of like shreds Tennessee's pass defense. They do have really good rushers. I mean, 2 of them freaking Mississippi State products with Jeffrey Simmons and Danico Autry. Those guys are animals on the line. But if they give Burrow time in the pocket, then it is going to be a long day for that Titans defense.
I don't know. I think Tennessee's going to wear them out. I don't think they win by a lot, but I think that they're just going to have that defense out on the field so much they're going to get gas, and there ain't much they can do about it.
I think Joey B's
like I love Joe. I want Joe to win, but that's just the reality of it. Like y'all said, their rush defense is not very good.
I think the past 6 weeks, Joey B's been progressing every single week.
I don't think it comes down to Joey B. I think Titans will get a few stops, and I don't know that the Bengals will be able to stop Tennessee.
I think they just have to make Tennessee throw the ball. If they can shut down that run, I think it's Bengals all day.
That's a big if.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to the Bengals rush team. I think that's where the game's gonna be at.
It's crazy because even if you sell on the run against Tennessee, Derrick Henry can still literally punish you. Like, it's crazy.
He can still run you over.
It's crazy.
They'll still get 3-4 yards a carry. They're still going to stay ahead of the chains. And, you saw what San Francisco did to us today. It's going to be like – I feel like it'll be like that. Just the defense stays out there, and then they're going to get so gassed, and Derrick Henry's going to break a 75-yarder. That's what always happens.
Well, it very well might.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it'll be like a 27-21 type thing, but that's just me.
If you're the Titans, you can't sell on Jamar Chase either because Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins will hurt you, and Uzoma will hurt you, and Mixon will hurt you out of the backfield. I think it's safe to say that the Bengals have more offensive weapons than the Titans. The Titans do have A.J. Brown. They have Julio. They have Derrick Henry, obviously. But I think if you look top to bottom, and it's going to start with who's running the offense right now, and I don't care how long he's been in the league, I'm taking Joe Burrow over Ryan Tannehill right now.
I am too.
Me too. Any day of the week.
But that's just me.
I said it a couple podcast episodes ago. Ryan Tannehill just wants to go home and have his 15th kid.
I thought you said like 22nd kid last time.
Yeah, who cares? Number always changes.
He's like Philip Rivers.
Does he have a lot of kids?
Oh, yeah. He's got like 7 or 8, I'm pretty sure.
Or are you thinking of Philip Rivers?
I think you're thinking of Philip Rivers.
Yeah, I think too.
I really don't know. I really don't care.
Philip Rivers pumps on the daily. That's all I know.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Oh, no, so tell him what he's doing now that he's out of football. Jesus Christ.
They only have 2 kids.
Yeah. He's going to go make his third.
Wants to go home and make number 3. I don't care.
That's too many.
Okay.
He obviously doesn't honor the Lord.
Okay, let's talk about the ass whooping that we saw last night. Bills 47, Patriots 17. The Bills, Josh Allen, they scariest team in the NFL right now. I think they are because they have gotten hot when we kind of kicked them while they were down.
Yeah, I would have to say so.
I'm pretty
I never
sure
kicked them while they were down.
I don't even know where to start.
Don't put that on me.
I don't even know where to start complimenting the Bills right now, though. We're being honest. Like, they literally did everything right. Everything. Against one of the best coaches, best defenses in the league. Like,
and it was also 6 degrees at that game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
And
what
they
happens
just
when you don't
fucking-
put anybody on defense in the All-Pro or make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, they got pissed.
I need to do that with the
seriously-
Cowboys and see if it works. Jesus.
The turning point of that game was very early, I feel like, when Mac Jones threw about a 40-yard bomb. I thought Aguilar was going to haul it in, and Micah Hyde makes a hell of a play to pick that ball off in the end zone. I thought it was done there. Like, I thought that was
a dot, too. That was a perfect
Yeah, it was a
throw.
great
Just
throw,
better defense.
but an even better play by Micah Hyde. I thought that was a turning point in the game. The Bills had 7 straight drives with a touchdown. 7. Holy dude, you don't see that very often. And we're not talking about, like we said, the Raiders defense. We're not talking about like the Chargers defense. We are talking about a top tier defense in the NFL with guys. They have Judon and JC Jackson. They have guys like that, and they got
Tre'Davious White.
The Bills.
And he's hurt.
Oh, you're talking about the
And he
Patriots.
tore his ACL
Oh, he did?
like
Yeah.
8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Okay.
Which makes this even crazier. I can't really put into words how impressed I was with the Bills as a whole. Like, against the Patriots, even though it is Mac Jones, this is a Bill Belichick coach team. And his defense has been really good all year. And they got shredded by probably a future MVP, let's be honest.
Yeah, not probably. He is. All I know is Josh Allen took that damn Viagra.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did.
It's time
Can't
for
beat a guy on
Belichick
3
to go.
legs.
Can't beat a cow with 3 legs.
For the Patriots, I mean,
I'm not taking credit for that. That's Ocho Cinco right there talking.
Oh, Jesus.
They eat McDonald's and take Viagra.
Recipe
Well,
for success.
You could do like what's his name, Michael Scott did on The Office. Put a Wayne Gretzky quote, and then put Wayne Gretzky, and then put your name after it.
So Mac Jones stats from last night. I just want to talk about Mac Jones again, a rookie. I think he'll be just fine. 24-38, 232 yards, 2 tutties, 2 interceptions. Again, 1 pick was a hell of a play by Micah Hyde. Didn't
it
play
was a good
terrible.
read.
Former Packer.
I think Davis Mills is better.
Mills
Well,
Mafia.
We know that.
We all know who's better than Davis Mills, though. Deshaun Watson.
Jesus. On the other side,
I can't speak on that.
on the other side, Josh Allen went 21-25, 308 yards and 5 touchdowns. He had more touchdowns than he had incompletions in a playoff game against an elite defense. Dude, Josh
6-degree
Allen.
weather.
I mean, he's
6
just
degree
on one.
weather.
He's
That's
just
the
on
most
one
impressive
last night.
part.
And he spread the ball out. I mean, I'm trying to bring up the receptions here. Dawson Knox had 5, Stephon had 3, Isaiah McKenzie had 3, Gabriel Davis had 2, Emmanuel Sanders had 2, Cole Beasley had 1, Devin Singletary had 3. This I think they're the scariest team in the playoffs right now. After watching that game, I really don't see how they get beat. I don't. And I know they play the Chiefs next week, and we'll talk about that game in a minute.
That's going to be the game
Bills,
of the playoffs.
I think that's
yeah.
going to be a shootout, a complete
That's going to
shootout.
be the best game all playoffs. I'm calling it right now.
I
Yeah.
hope the Bills
Yep.
win, though.
Do not
wanna
put
see
money on
Josh
that
Allen.
game for.
Love Josh Allen. Anything? Okay, so the Bills will play on the road. They'll play in Kansas City next week, and obviously a tough environment. When we're recording this, the Chiefs just won. They beat the Steelers. We'll say bye to
Sadly.
Big Ben here in a little while.
R.I.P. Ben.
R.I.P. Ben, but
Hang
not
up the
really
walking
R.I.P.
boot.
What
He
should
wants
their
to go
game
make more
plan-
kids, too.
He wants to go commit some crimes.
Yeah, he does.
What should the Bills game plan be as a whole against the Chiefs?
Whatever they did this week.
I think it's safe to say that the Chiefs' offense is probably a little bit better than the Patriots' offense.
Yeah, it's a little more dynamic too. They can run the ball. They can pass deep, short, do whatever they want.
Even though with the injury to Tre'Davious White, I mean, they still have they have two really good coverage linebackers in A.J. Klein is
Matt
one,
Milano.
and Matt Milano is the other one. They have really two good coverage linebackers. So I think, Kelsey's a really tough guy to cover, but I think if you put it on the shoulders of one of those linebackers, they can get it done. Micah Hyde's one of the best safeties in the league. You saw how he played the other night, or last night. I think this will be I agree with a shootout. I really do. If you look at my home stats from the night, again, we'll talk about that one in a minute. If you look at my home stats from the night, they are damn near identical. Damn near. And Steelers defense, I wouldn't say they're bottom tier. They're just a middle tier defense, but
They looked top tier in that first half, or
They
early in
did.
that first half.
after the TJ Watt touchdown, which, by the way, he's got to win Defensive Player of the Year. I don't see how he does it.
No doubt.
So,
Trevon.
not after the night. He got
Nope.
fooled by Brandon Ayuk
Nope.
all day.
They don't base those awards off the playoffs, though, bro.
Okay, well.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think this one was a blowout. The next one we'll talk about real quick because I don't really have much to say on this one except I kind of think we saw this one coming. The Bucks beat the Eagles 31-15. The Eagles, I hated their offensive game plan. I watched a little bit of that game, and dude, they were giving Devontae Smith one-on-ones. And I'm sorry, but Devontae Smith is better than anybody on the secondary for the Bucks. Better than anyone. And the Bucks were playing off of him, and they were adamant on running the football. I get it. I know you're a run-heavy offense, but damn it, you're playing a top 3 run defense, and you don't do anything different.
It's Jalen Hurts' fault. He fucking sucks. Gardner
I don't
Minshew
think-
should have been in the
Yeah,
game
they should
after
have
that first
put in
drive,
Gardner.
and they're fucking idiots. But I'm okay with it. Keep being idiots, Eagles, please.
I think Hurts isn't the future. If they're gonna keep him there, I think the Eagles are gonna be a middle of the pack team for a while.
They look so damn ignorant, dude. It's actually unbelievable.
Yeah. Just so you know, this is how bad the run offense was. And again, we are talking about the best run offense in the league. And I know they haven't played really any great defenses, but it is still, if you're the best run offense in the league, you expect to run for a lot of yards. Jalen Hurts had 39. Boston Scott had 34. Miles Sanders had 16. Kenneth Gainwell had 6. They had 95 total rushing yards today.
And they average, 160?
They average more than that, I'm pretty sure.
Close to 200?
It's very close to 200. I'll tell you right now, but you can kind of say what you want to say. Total rushing yards per game is hold up.
I could have sworn it was 160-ish, somewhere in there.
Oh, this says the postseason. It said 25. I was like, or 95. I was like, what? Rushing yards per game. Come on. 160. 159.7 a game. They rushed for 95 today. They had to put it in Jalen Hurts' hand. Were they down 31-0?
Yeah, they were down.
Those 2 garbage touchdowns.
Yeah, they were garbage.
Yeah, it was a blowout.
Yeah. I think we expected this. I know Hitch, you thought they would play a little bit closer. But I think deep down you knew that the Bucks were kind of.
I knew that they were going to lose. I just figured they would. I don't even fucking know what I was watching. It was just stupid.
It was ugly. It was really ugly. Nick Sirianni, I will give him credit for a little bit of what he's done this year, kind of running the offense. But, dude, you have arguably the best receiver out of this draft class, young wide receiver in this draft class, besides Jamar Chase. I think, Devontae Smith, talent-wise, is up there for everything that he does, and he was getting one-on-ones. every play, and you were adamant on running the ball up the middle or throwing a short screen to not Jalen Reagor, whoever else they got out there. And they're
The
not
only
using
offense
Devontae.
they had was those little like 10 to 12 yard passes to Dallas Goedert, and they just did it and did it and did it over and over again. I think it was 5 plays in a row they went to him on very, very similar plays.
And
it's like Goddard's a good tight end, but that's not going to beat somebody. I mean, his after catch ability isn't that of like Devontae Smith or even Reagor or whoever else they got.
So the Bucks play they play
Rams or Cards.
Rams or Cardinals. My fault. So kind of the question I want to ask is, does Tom Brady have enough in the tank to carry this Bucks team to the Super Bowl, or is it the defense that's going to let them down later in the playoffs? It's going to be them and the
Packers NFC Championship game. I'm not going to say who wins that. Rodgers is going to kick his fucking ass this time. That's all I know.
I appreciate it. It's going to be Green Bay Buffalo Super Bowl.
I think the loser has to retire.
Green Bay Bengals.
Kind of like a Bucks Saints thing. Drew Brees left town.
Yeah. Loser leaves town.
Yep.
Something like that.
Loser leaves the league. Go to the booth.
Yeah, it retires.
We really need Brady to lose that game, then. I'm tired of hearing his fucking name.
Yeah, especially when you said this wasn't his year. And then you look at the Cowboys and first round bounce.
Sorry. We'll get to that here in a minute.
Personally, I think that the Rams would match up very well against the Bucks. I mean, the Rams are a team that passes the ball a lot, and you got fucking Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham, Van Jefferson. I think the Rams could beat the Buccaneers. I really do. Their passing defense is good enough.
I think anybody could beat the Buccanerunners.
I also agree. I think the Rams or Cardinals could beat them.
I do too.
The Cardinals, get the fuck out of here.
Dude, okay, so
Cardinals.
The Bucks pass defense is so bad that I think any team who throws the ball 40 times a game will win.
It doesn't matter because they have such a good pass rush and run defense.
They don't have to run the ball. The fucking Rams don't.
I said pass rush and run defense.
I just said the Rams.
Pass rush means it affects the pass game, where he'll have to rush to throw the ball, which leads to turnovers.
I don't think so.
We'll just watch. We're going to see it. Because the Rams are beating the Cardinals.
The Rams might not beat the Cardinals.
They are going to beat the Cardinals.
I think it's going to be a shit show game.
I mean, it's all irrelevant anyway. Green Bay goes to the Super Bowl. They're the best in the NFC. It doesn't matter. They can all hold each other's hands. It doesn't matter who goes second, third, or fourth. I mean, Rodgers is winning.
I do think Rodgers kind of.
I think Rodgers might pull. I think Rodgers might pull a week one and throw the game on purpose.
Oh, not against San Fran. You see what happened last time? Adams field goal. Adams over the middle field goal to win it. I don't care if it's 3 points or if it's 10.
It'd be pretty cool if Aaron Rodgers Paul crewed that shit and just shaved points.
That ain't happening.
Aaron Rodgers is going to bet the under. So
maybe that's his whole plan this whole year, to leave Green Bay. You just get them to the playoffs and throw the game.
We're marking
one more time.
We're marking the 49ers off. Dude, they're like what, 8-2 now in their last 10 games.
Yeah, but y'all hurt half their defense today.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but we're also not
good today.
We're also not going to have 20 flags against us for false starts or whatever the case.
Yeah, because
the defensive holding. That's
14 penalties.
Yeah, because y'all don't have a fucking star on y'all's helmet. It's different.
Oh my gosh!
It's always
don't do this. Don't do this.
We have a Florida.
You know
lead.
what?
I think that's cooler than a star.
You know what?
We did beat ourselves today, though.
You know what? We'll just go right into it. 49ers 23, Cowboys 17. Cowboys thought we're going to win. They were my super dog of the week. They fucked me over. Fuck them. Hate the Cowboys. Sorry, Hitch, but y'all looked very, 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 very slow.
I'm being an Aider fan. Awuzie is my favorite player. I'm now a Bengals fan.
So looked horrible today.
Before y'all even start talking
mean-
about this, we might as well just sit here and be quiet because this is going to be a
Wait.
Hitch segment for about
Wait,
15
Anthony
minutes.
Hitchens
Hold up,
is
can I
my
say
favorite
something?
player. He's now on the Chiefs. Go Patrick Mahomes.
Hitch,
Win
can I
us a
say
Super
something
Bowl,
real
baby.
quick? Hitch,
What?
can I say something real quick? Since 1996, the Houston Texans have won more playoff games than the Dallas Cowboys.
Why would you
Houston
start
Texans
after we
first
win the
season.
Super Bowl?
What Houston Texans
Why
first
would you start
season
after
wasn't
we win
until
the Super Bowl?
2002. 2002 was the Houston Texans' first season
Why would you start after we win a Super Bowl, though?
because we weren't a team yet.
Have y'all had a Super Bowl?
We weren't a team yet.
Have
Hitch.
y'all had a Super Bowl?
Hitch, since we were created,
Hitch,
we
you're
never
living
had
in the
playoff games.
90s.
All I
Yeah,
hear
you
is
weren't even
Before your
born.
birthday. It was before you
You
were
didn't even
born.
see it.
It was before you were born.
So, we still have them.
You weren't even a thought yet, Hitch.
In 2002, it was 3.
We're talking about the Super
What,
Bowl. Oh my god.
They could have been trying since 95.
Can't argue with that.
I
Can't
haven't
argue
really
with
gone
that.
into detail with my parents about that. I feel like that would be a little uncomfortable, but
Okay, so
The Cowboys,
First thing-
Cowboys just looked sloppy. It was.
yeah, what they did. So
Avery, let's just
Um,
talk about Ian Book for a second.
you
And
have
then
no
we'll talk about
excuse.
sloppy.
You have no excuse. You had your
Jesus.
starting quarterback in. Couldn't get anything done.
I wouldn't say anything.
It is
So
the
my
Michael
first-
Gallup effect.
no, it
Yeah,
is,
if Michael
yeah.
Gallup was out there, we win by 40.
Dak was
They
stat
look like the
padding the fourth
Bills.
quarter.
Those garbage yards, you're right.
All for
So
nothing.
first
The
note
Saints
from
had
this
Drew
game-
Brees. We would go to a Super Bowl, so it didn't really matter.
Okay. First note from this game, kind of I wrote down was the Niners kind of shocked me. They played pretty good defense. I know their defense is good. They got a lot of good players. But is this more of a Niners defense, like kind of them excelling, or is it more of the Cowboys offense not clicking?
Beating themselves
Yeah.
with false
Yeah.
starts, Holden's hands to the face, pass interference, and whatever else the fuck was called.
It looked like Thanksgiving Day. You're not going to win with 20 flags on against you.
Yeah, they had what, like 14 or 15?
14, I believe.
14.
They need to sit down and read the rule book this offseason.
That's
You can tell they don't read bind. Fucking idiots.
I think Mike McCarthy just likes blaming everything on the refs. That's why they do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mike McCarthy is gonna have him sit down and read through
Hey,
the entire
and by
NFL.
the way-
Mike
rule
McCarthy
book.
don't make you
Hold
sit
up.
there and have like
Hold up.
3 neutral zone infractions in a row. Like
Hold up.
that's
I
just
don't
you being
know.
stupid.
I don't know who on this podcast said it, but somebody did. They said that Mike McCarthy was, which again, like
Me.
we
I
were
said
scared of Mike.
I said it was
we were
their
scared
biggest
of
weak.
Mike
I said the
McCarthy.
Cowboys' biggest
You can't
weakness
blame
is
that
Mike
on Mike
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
I said that like weeks ago.
You're acting like that's proving something. How's this Mike McCarthy's fault? Like just the players.
They didn't do
making
anything till the
stupid
fourth
plays.
quarter. They had no urgency till the fourth quarter.
We made some nice plays, but guess what? We had damn like I don't even know what
30
we had.
million
Like,
penalties.
false starts, illegal shifts, and whatever the hell else.
Legal receiver
I mean-
downfield, hands to the face, holding.
I mean, everything. I've not
OPI.
seen one holding on the defense on a run play in my life, and we had 2 of them. That's how stupid we are.
Yeah, yeah.
Randall
Um,
Gregory pretty much just tackled that guy. Like it wasn't even
Yeah,
holding.
he
He
did. I
just-
don't know
he
what he
just
was
tackled him.
And
I've
then on
never
the
seen
one of
so
the
many
biggest third downs
holdings.
of the game, we get a hands to the face, and the dude looked like he was trying to gouge his damn eyes out. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
A little side note: did y'all see it was like fourth quarter? It was still like I think Dallas was still down like 10 or whatever. What was the score? It was like 23-10 or whatever.
I don't
26.
know. The
Yeah.
score changed like 17 times.
It
Yeah,
was
I think
like
it's
fourth quarter with
23-10.
like 8 minutes left, and y'all were down. Still pretty good margin. Jerry Jones was just sitting up there smiling, just having a good time. He didn't care about the
Probably
game.
drunk like I was.
He's realizing he can't afford curtains.
Jerry Jones has dementia. He just completely forgot what team he was paying for. He
Yeah,
just
what's up with this?
completely forgot.
What's up with the sunlight in the stadium so much? I mean, your receivers are getting blinded.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
architect
I guess
wasn't
there's something
thinking.
in the roof where the sun peeks through. I don't know.
windows.
No, it's like that. It's on one of the end zones. There's like
Yeah.
just straight glass. So when the sun sets, it just beams right in there.
Yeah, Cedric Wilson was sitting there waiting for a pass when they'd done pass him about 30 yards. I was like he was sitting there like this, and the ball was all the way fucking back here. It's like
Jerry Jones can't afford blinds.
I guess that's a big ass blind.
Jerry
tinted windows.
Jones needs to invest in some blackout curtains.
There's one person that can afford blinds. I feel like it'd be Jerry Jones. So
I feel like anybody should be able to afford blinds.
Some people are down bad.
I mean, damn, dude, we just want to block the sun.
Yeah, Mr. Jerry, can we get some blinds for that glass over there? We can't see the ball.
We can't see.
we can't see. Dak throws us a 40-yard bomb and we just lose it in the sun. I mean,
I have a feeling
it's
his
impossible.
answer would be something along the lines of no, then it wouldn't be Cowboy football or something stupid.
It's
We gotta have our
disrespecting the
receivers
stadium.
not be able to see the football because
It's
that's Cowboy
tradition.
football.
It's tradition.
Damn it! You
And then
think
the
Troy
video-
Aikman can
The
play?
video board gets in, the Jumbotron gets in play of a punt. I mean, what's going on, Hitch?
It's been like that for years.
Dude,
Can't
built
be
the
happening
stadium
in a
just-
playoff game.
Jerry did
I'll
say
say-
they did not even think about that when they put that in there. So they
He
made a
doesn't
new
think
rule
at all.
around it where you get a
I
ring.
bet
why-
they didn't. I bet they
Jerry
didn't.
doesn't think. Mike McCarthy doesn't think. Kellen Moore doesn't think. I mean, it's just it's a franchise thing.
The
Can't
light
quit
bulb's
things.
just not on in the. Yeah. Okay.
Lights are on,
Lights,
but
lights are on.
nobody's
Nobody's at
home.
home.
Nobody is home.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that game, Dallas's defense had like multiple stops late in that game, and yeah, a fucking holding call on a run play on defense. I don't
Stupid.
understand it.
That
I've
can't be
never seen
happening.
it. I've never
I
seen
tore
that.
down my whole fucking wall in my room, dude. I was so pissed. And I'm like, okay, let's see it this time. A fucking defensive holding. What kind of bullshit am I about to see? And the dude literally bear hugs him and fucking like John Cena's his ass.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, what the fuck do I say about that? Like, I was speechless.
You just watch in dismay because there's nothing you can do about it.
I just have a lifetime of disappointment being a Phillies and Cowboys fan.
Understandable.
Lifetime.
It's
Yeah,
understandable.
Phillies are. You shouldn't have brought up Phillies. That's just disappointing.
That's what I just said.
And Thunder.
I think you really just hate yourself. You're a masochist.
All
It's been
right,
like
real
that
quick,
for years.
You love
Real quick.
inflicting pain on yourself.
Yeah.
The Chiefs beat the Steelers tonight, 42-21. Patrick Mahomes' stat line, about that of Josh Allen's, but 30 of 39, 404 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a pick. That is who the Bills have to play next week. That's going to be a fucking heavyweight bout.
Yeah, it is.
And there's not much to say about this game besides the Chiefs did get off to a slow start, and it was just all Chiefs after that. I watched the TJ Watt touchdown, and then I'm pretty sure the next time that I look up and it's 28-7 right after the half. So, yeah, the Chiefs kind of dominated that one. They outscored the Steelers 21-7 in the second quarter after no points being scored. It was 35-7 at one point. So yeah, that one kind of got out of hand. But
I'm just glad Ben had a good game to go out.
yeah, Big Ben went 29 of 44, 215 yards, and 2 tutties. That's probably going to be the end of Big Ben's career. 2-time Super Bowl champion. He was in the league with the Steelers for 18 years. We can talk, about controversy all you want. Still a pretty consistent quarterback throughout the years.
Come to Dallas, please.
Would like
What?
would like to what?
How desperate are
Welcome to
you?
Dallas.
The Cowboys are down.
He's won a Super
bad.
Bowl.
And
If Rodgers leaves, take him. That'd be a
We
better
got a better
option.
offensive line. Oh, give me Rodgers, please, for the love of God. I don't care if we only have him for 1 year. We're winning a Super Bowl, and then I'm retiring from watching the NFL.
No, that
DC
defense wouldn't be
doesn't
able to
stand
win
for
a-
Dallas Cowboys.
Win a Super Bowl.
DC doesn't stand for Dallas Cowboys. It stands for down cataclysmic.
I thought
So
it
Speak
stood
English,
for
Wilkie.
district
Word of the damn day.
I thought it stood for District of Columbia. Does it not
How the
stand for
fuck do you
that
even
anymore?
spell that, Wilkie?
Cataclysmic.
Yeah, please enlighten me.
CATACLYSMIC. Cataclysmic.
Do you
Thank
have it written down like on your desk? I saw you taking it left over there.
A little sidebar for the Chiefs game. They ran out of touchdown fireworks.
Cole's holding him up. Cole's holding up flashcards for Wilkie.
Tomorrow night we have the Rams and the Cardinals, and NFC West matchup that I just feel like is not going to be a very good game for some reason. I think it's going to be sloppy and boring. I think the Rams come out on top. Personally, I just want to know what you guys think, because there's certain aspects of this game that could go either way, you know, depending on how a defense plays. But I like the Rams in this one a little bit.
I think the Rams got it too. They've been hotter more recently. The Cardinals have
Matthew
been
Stafford's
frauds.
going to get it going again.
You just put the ball in your playmakers' hands on that Rams offense.
Give
I
it
think
to
they'll be fine.
feed Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. I agree.
What are we feeding them?
The ball.
Football.
A bowl.
That don't sound very appetizing.
Bowl from Kulikan.
Yeah, CD Lamb
That does.
did not want to get fed today. He just kept dropping it.
That makes like 4 things we slandered.
He looks
Cowboys
like he's
on
starving
already.
on it, Bond.
That would definitely.
Oh no.
Boy, has that a good meal
He
in
is
Dallas in a
like,
while.
I think he
Free
is like
hashtag-
top 3 in drops.
Hashtag free CD.
Reckon Zeke will share some of that cereal with him.
Oh, did y'all hear that about Zeke? He's been playing on a torn PCL.
That's made up.
He also needs to lose weight.
Yeah, he
It's
does.
only like
And-
210.
And get
Well,
a
he needs to be
haircut.
195.
He's like 5'7", 240.
Big beefy.
He cuts off that hair, it'll be 5'7", 210.
Did you see that he hates bananas? He hates eating bananas.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I
it's gonna
bet
catch a
Bond
cramp.
eats them with 2 hands.
What? Eats bananas with 2 hands? I don't eat bananas either, so I wouldn't know.
I don't
Bond
either.
eats bananas whole.
Weird that it's kind of weird that you shouldn't be eating bananas. Bitch.
Oh shit.
Bond doesn't even chew them. He just inhales them.
I don't have time. I don't have time to chew in my day.
This is the waste of time. Oh, chew. Fuck that. I don't have time to chew in my day.
See, if you chew your food, you get rid of the macronutrients. So they suggest you swallow food whole.
Oh God.
It's great. Just great.
What were we talking-
funny.
We were talking about
JoJo
the
is so
freaking-
confused right now. Look at him. He looks lost.
Feed Cooper Cup's what we were talking about. Just feed him the ball, and we got on
Feed
bananas.
him bananas specifically.
This is the kind of content you're subbing for. That game's tomorrow. And I don't really care for it. I wish it would just die and somebody wins. So I hope Matthew
I think it's going to be a good game.
Has the potential
Not
to be.
all good games have to be shootouts.
Yeah, but that
They
one's probably going to be fucking ugly.
cancel the game and then decide the game by coin
Matthew
toss.
Stafford's going to big dick it, go for about 400, 5 touchdowns. They're going to win by about 30.
Yeah.
That's my dark horse to win the Super Bowl, bro. Matthew Stafford needs one.
Yeah.
Joe B's 1-1, so he's winning it this year.
No, I take that back. It's Josh Allen season.
I do like
Davis Mill season.
I got to go with my fantasy quarterback.
Josh Allen.
I can't go with I can
That's
go
my
with my
fantasy wide
backup
receiver
fantasy
one.
quarterback.
I'd go with my
go with-
wide receiver 1 and Cooper Kupp.
I can go with my flex and my backup quarterback.
Avery, you
Jason
talked a lot of
Joe
shit
Burrow.
about the Cowboys today, and you had like 90% of your team Cowboys this year.
No, I had 2 people.
Didn't you start off with Pollard? Or was that Cole?
I thought you had Gallup and someone else.
Yeah, you had
I have
you had
Gallup and Amari, but
Amari.
I always
But then you had
left one on
Dak,
the
too.
bench.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that.
I had 3
that's
people,
3.
but I only started.
You had our 3
Gallup.
superstars. Well,
Yeah,
3
But
four.
also
Gotta
had
count
Joe
Stadium.
Burrow and Jamar
Well,
Chase.
it's kind of smart to have players from a team you hate because, like, if they do good, you can be happy for your fantasy. And if they do bad, you can be happy that they lost. You know?
Yeah.
Taking
Avery,
Tom
why would
Brady
you
next
hate
year,
the
though.
Cowboys?
I like it, JoJo.
Oh, man.
I bet Tom Brady eats bananas. I bet he's a big banana guy.
Guys, I
Tom
cannot
Brady's
say.
a big kiss my kids on the lips guy.
He probably
He
He
is
probably
that.
chews up his food for his kids.
He probably does. Big
He
old
bird
mama
feeds them.
bird.
He spits it in their mouth.
Mama bird Brady.
You thought he was kissing his kids. He was actually feeding them.
Feeding
Sons of
them.
bitches.
He was mouth
Oh my
feeding them.
God.
He'd drink their water.
They said you can't eat hard food. He said, no, you need chicken. Give me a second. Don't choke, you little bitch.
I never choked in the playoffs. You won't choke.
It's not in our genes.
I feel so bad for everybody's kids that plays for the Cowboys, man. That's just rough. They're out there not even.
How are we
chewing.
bringing the Cowboys into this?
Not even-
It is 11:46. You were still a part of that fan base.
So do y'all
Oh.
think Tom
Guys,
Brady's
please.
kids love it when he comes home, or do they dread him
But they're
coming?
terrified.
What do y'all think?
They,
wonder
they
if his
hide
kids-
under the bed.
Does he have any girls?
No, I think he has like 2 or 3 boys.
Oh, that
think
would
they
be
kiss
real
each other?
weird.
I think if he had girls, he'd be in jail right now.
Oh, for sure.
He would have been in jail a long time ago.
So does this
Who's
happen
a-
when, like, his kid goes on a date or something and brings her home and, like, he feeds them in front of her? Like, how does this work?
Who's the worst parent, Tom Brady or Adrian Peterson? You decide.
If he was
Tyreek
Adrian
Hill.
Peterson, he would have been in jail a long time ago, like 10 years ago.
Tom
What's
Brady
worse?
kisses his
What's
kids
worth mouth kissing your kids when they're 13 or beating them?
with a stick.
I think mouth kissing them. I really do.
I think it is.
I'd rather
too.
I'd rather my dad beat me with a twig than him kiss me on the lips.
I agree.
You think that he's ever used tongue?
Oh, for sure. He probably
Yeah,
was
he's
delirious
definitely-
one
Does he
morning.
teach his little
He's
boys how
definitely
to
stuck it
kiss?
in a few times.
That's a real porn.
All I can
shit.
think-
Daddy, I
Tom-
don't know how to kiss. Here, boy, let me show you.
Tom
I think
Brady's.
that's enough NFL talk for this
Tom,
podcast.
I can imagine Tom Brady's household just being like that one scene from We're the Millers when they're trying to teach the kid how to kiss. And they're just all kissing each other. Then Rob Gronkowski walks in and he's like, "What's going on, Tom?"
Tom? All right.
Big
Okay, that's
kiss your
enough
kids
NFL
guy,
talk,
huh?
I think. Yeah, so divisional rounds next weekend, right? Is it divisionals? What's
Yeah.
called?
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Also last night there was the first UFC fight of the year, or the UFC event of the year. Cater, as my sources have told me how to pronounce it, Cater defeated Chikazi by unanimous decision. And I saw the picture after the match, and did fucking Chikazi even land a punch or what?
Oh, he did.
Oh, he did. He did early. He got gas.
Jinx.
But that motherfucker kept on hitting him with that little. He was
That little
spanking that
number.
ass.
Yeah, that had to have been a record for most elbows landed in a fight. That's
I've
like
never
all he
seen
was
it.
throwing.
Usually, kind of try to snake him with it, and then it's just like, no, I'm gonna hit you with it every fucking time. He's like,
Yeah.
my punches ain't getting you like that. So I'm
Even,
gonna elbow your ass.
I think it was Bisping that brought it up. He was like, well, they don't seem to be working with his hands, so he's just throwing his elbows, seeing if he can rock him
Yeah.
like that. That was it was crazy. And although there's a few people in here that don't know what a good fight looks like, it was a really good fight. It was fun to watch.
There's a
I'm looking
few
at you,
people
What are you
Byron.
trying to
here.
say?
Yeah, I don't really know.
What you trying to get into?
Oh, I'm at
Charlie.
in bind. I'm at in bind, yeah.
Wait, what?
All right, so
He
there's
said
only
some
one
people
person.
don't know what a good fight looks like.
I don't think that was a good fight in rounds 3 and 4.
You're crazy, dude.
They
Like,
look very
that was as good as
tired.
it gets.
Well, they
They
probably
were very tired.
But they were
barely
throwing.
swinging.
They were
But
throwing.
you're supposed to train for 5 rounds.
What did
that would be like NBA games, and they tire out in the second and third quarter, and they just play hard the last 5 minutes of the fourth.
They're not gladiators, Brian. They don't fight to the death.
But you're supposed to train for 5 rounds, correct?
What did you think when he hit him with that spinning elbow?
That was pretty sick.
Fucking awesome.
That was sick.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how many 5-round fights those two have been in, really.
Yeah,
I thought he was.
They made it
I
sound
thought
like that.
I thought the other dude was gonna bleed out of his nose. I mean, it just kept gushing blood.
Yeah,
dude, it was fucking
he had
awesome.
Cuts everywhere.
Respect to that dude. What's Chikadze? Respect to you, bro.
Yeah.
You took an ass whipping, and you didn't go down. You didn't. Dude, that was crazy.
Props to Cater being the underdog, coming in there and kicking his ass. I mean, he did all 5 rounds, really.
I want to give myself a pat in the back. I called it.
Who's
Chikadze? He's the United States.
Yeah, but like where?
I'm not too sure.
It was that like Arizona or something?
Okay.
Where's Chikadze from?
Georgia.
We had this conversation.
The country.
Oh yeah,
country, Georgia.
I thought you were talking about the state.
Joseph Stalin,
Cater was from the state of Georgia.
Yeah. So it's a more superior Georgia.
That was an awesome fight, and I don't know that we see a fight that good for a little bit.
As far as that weight class goes,
he's from Massachusetts.
Big John Cena guy, huh?
Who else is from Massachusetts?
Better go.
What did he say?
John Cena.
Yes.
John Cena's from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. I'm colorblind. Leave me alone. So as far as that fight goes towards that weight division, though, it probably won't have that big of an impact. Nobody's going to beat Volkanovski anyways. I think I said his name right. But
yeah, I think you did.
I don't think Cater's going to fight him. I think Chikadze would have been lined up too if he'd have won that fight. But I mean, you still got like Max Holloway in that division, who's
okay.
Arguably...
So so my next question was going to be, does Cater fight Holloway again?
I think that would be interesting.
Yeah. I think he. I don't know if it'll be 1 or 2 more fights because he was already 5 in the class, right? In that weight class.
Cater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was 5. I think we talked about it.
So I think he's probably maybe I'm not going to say 1 fight, but at most 2 fights away from getting a shot at it, right?
Yeah, I believe if he wins 1 more, it'd have to be a bigger name fight, of course. But I mean, let's say he goes in there.
After this ass whooping he gave Chikadze.
Yeah, and you got to think
he does.
This guy hadn't fought since like January of last year. So he come in off pretty much a whole year fighting, come in and just kicked his ass. Like he looked really good.
And it was impressive. Like he wasn't like dancing around. He kept the pressure on him all 5 minutes of each round. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, and I know they didn't go to the ground much that fight at all, but when they did, it was Cater that was coming out on top on the ground too. Like he beat him in every aspect of the fight.
His reversals on the ground were nice. His hand being in control was nice, like all the way around. And then his striking, I mean, obviously, like, and they said the dude's never been knocked out before, and he's been in 18 fights, something like that.
So he's a tough guy. Yeah.
I could see a title fight possibly in the future.
What weight division are they? Featherweight.
That's featherweight, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be featherweight.
Okay, so Volkanovski is first. Obviously, he's champion. Max Holloway is at 2. So, if that kind of gives you an indication. Brian Ortega is at 3, and then Cater moved up, so he is now 5. So
Ortega's a really tough guy too. He's fun to watch fight.
Yeah, Ortega is good.
Which, by the way, Volkanovski, I didn't know he was 23-1. So I kind of
that dude's tough. He's I don't think
Ortega's been talking about him for a little bit now.
Yeah, nice. Okay. And we'll get more to the Ngannou fight. Did I say it right that time, Pedigo?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Hitch that corrected you, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, Hitch. We'll get into that fight on Wednesday. We'll talk very, very more in depth about that fight on Wednesday. But we are excited for that fight as well. Pedigo, hopefully you can come down. We can watch it together. I know me, Hitch, Bond probably watch it together. I would imagine.
I should be able to.
Okay. All right. Sweet.
I'll be there.
I'll
be there.
JoJo's coming too.
Oh, JoJo. Josie Bell all the way. Yay.
Yeah, I'll drive them.
So the last question I kind of wanted to ask you, I kind of answered it already. But like, what's next in the featherweight division? I think Holloway deserves the title fight. I mean, he is a number one contender. I think Volkanovski at 23-1. I don't think he loses to Max Holloway, but again, in the UFC, you can't really put anything past anybody. We've seen crazier upsets than that. But do you think Cater fights a guy like Ortega? Do you think he fights, Holloway?
Fucking asshole.
It's gonna be.
Fucking asshole.
Got you, Hitch.
We'll see y'all again.
Look at the Twitter.
Freezing cold
that was
take.
definitely a freezing cold take for sure.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying earlier. He said we're gonna see y'all again. We'll see if it actually happens. But
Holloway actually is one of his last two fights. His most recent being in November, won by decision. So I figure he'll be the next up for that title shot. So I guess we'll see. UFC has a weird way of working these number one contenders in, because you'll see a guy that's like 5th ranked fight the champion or something like that.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on who the most recent fight was, I guess. If they haven't had enough time to kind of recover from their last.
Right, because you can have a champion ready to fight.
Not
You can
again.
have a number 2 contender just win a fight like a month or so before the champion has to fight.
Diggs did not get burnt one time today.
Diggs was getting toasted.
Wait, no, he did give up one play, but Jimmy G had like 10 seconds in the pocket, so I'll give him a pass on that one.
Dude was all pro.
He is all pro, not was. They haven't played it yet.
Yeah, so that's kind of what's going to happen with the UFC. Again, big fight this weekend. A lot of big fights coming up. We did the preview last episode. So UFC is going to be around for a little while. We have a lot of golf's getting started, UFC's getting started, a lot of stuff like that. It's going to be, taking a hold, and we'll have a lot more to talk about.
About number 3 placement.
Big Kevin Kistner.
In the Sunny
guys.
Open.
Big
Love that guy.
guys.
Moving on to the NBA, there are a couple things I want to talk about. We'll roll these rapid fire. First thing, the Mavs have won. They won 6 straight. Then they lost to the Knicks, and then they beat the Grizzlies. So they won 7 of 8. This is all without Kristaps Porzingis. Actually, they won 8 of 9 because they beat the Magic last night. They won 8 of 9. This is all without Kristaps Porzingis. Are they a team to keep an eye on, or are they going to be just a team that's kind of around for a little bit, but they won't be around after this?
I don't know. The Mavs are one of those teams personally that they might play good in the regular season, but they're not scared in the playoffs. I mean, there's a lot of teams like that in the NBA for me.
Their offense can click, but they, like JoJo said, they're real streaky.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Porzingis has been a bust. That was a horrible trade by the Mavs. Horrible.
It's like we knew.
Atrocious. I don't know what other words I can come up with, but
we'll talk about a worse one here in about 2 minutes.
I already know what it's going to be.
Okay. I haven't really got a chance to brag on my Knicks, but I want to brag on them a little bit because of their recent success. They've won 3 straight. I know I got to remember the 3 straight, but I know Mavs and Hawks were 2 of them. And defense has been outstanding, really, really good. But last game, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle combined for 51, 14 assists, 12 rebounds. They've been a dynamic duo that's kind of scary. RJ Barrett has been outstanding, kind of one of those guys where he's taken a leap. It's his 3rd year. He's taken a leap. He's been really good scoring. They just added Cam Reddish. They got rid of Kevin Knox for Solomon Hill and Cam Reddish, which the Hawks, I think, are – I don't know what they were trying to – I don't know what their game plan was there. I don't know why you get rid of Reddish for Knox, but we'll talk about that in just 1 second. I know the Knicks are not scary, but can they make a run in the East with their recent success and the addition of Cam Reddish and Kemba Walker coming back healthy?
That's a tough one. I wouldn't say make a run. I think they could end up being like a 5 seed in the East.
They go second round at most, in my opinion.
I don't think y'all have the scores to keep up with some of these other juggernauts in the East. But, I mean, I don't know when the trade deadline is. Has it hit yet?
No, it hasn't.
We still got a good bit away. But I think y'all are one piece away, honestly. I mean, I can say that about a lot of teams, but it also has to be the right piece.
We added Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker in the offseason. I think they were two big adds. Getting Mitchell Robinson back healthy is big, but we just haven't clicked as a full unit. Kemba Walker's been out here and there. COVID's obviously been stupid with Julius Randle being out at times because right when we did get Kemba back, we lose Julius Randle. I want to see this team as a whole all healthy with everybody playing their roles. And then I can kind of make an assumption. But I do agree with y'all as a Knicks fan. Like, we don't have the scoring, but what saves us is our defense. Our defense is very good interior-wise. With Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle's a good defender. We have good perimeter defenders. And the only thing we don't defend well at times is the three-point shot. I think if we can defend the three-point shot, then we'll be pretty good defensively. But, like, in the interior, with Nerlens Noel, Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, Taj Gibson, all those guys are very good defensively. And, yeah, sorry for ranting on about the Knicks. I don't really rant about my teams because they're not.
I will say, though, I mean, who knows? Like, I mean, you saw it with the Heat. Like, their defense took over and got them to the finals, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be another one of those situations. You don't see it that often. But, I mean –
I'll say
there was nobody overwhelming on the that Heat roster that, like, I would say was better than what the Knicks have right now. I mean, I think there's still a chance.
Miami's the same way this year. We're third in the East. Bam hasn't played in 2 months or a month and a half. Jimmy Butler's played 8 games in the last month and a half. I mean, I want to see, like you said about the Knicks, I want to see all of us back together because we got all these young guys going off. I mean, Tyler Hero, Max Strus.
I don't know who that other dude is. Who's the dude with the weird name for y'all?
Yeah, Omar Yarovstovich.
He let John scoring the other day.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's like 7 foot.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson's very good. So no, yeah, I agree.
I think it could be one of those situations. Y'all get hot at the right time. Defense plays elite. Y'all put up 105 points maybe a game. I mean, hell, sometimes you might get away with 95. Yeah. But if your defense is good enough, you can get away with it. So.
I'd love a Miami New York playoffs in the first round.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, well, just defense against defense. We beat the Hawks a couple of nights ago. Maybe it was yesterday. 117 to 108, like holding the Hawks to 108. It's pretty good. They're a good offensive team. So, all right. Moving kind of to stay on the topic of the Hawks. The Hawks made a questionable trade. As a Knicks fan, I'm happy. They give up Cam Reddish and Solomon Hill for Kevin Knox in a second round, not a first round, a second round. I just want to know what the Hawks are thinking here because I've tried to dive in and look a little bit. I just don't know what their goal is.
I mean, I think it could be similar to like a Kuzma situation going to Washington and thriving. Like maybe it's a change of scenery he needs. The dude's shown flashes. To say the least. I mean, that was rookie year. I mean, what was that? 3 years ago? Yeah, so
4 years ago now because RJ's was 3. RJ's was 3.
I think it could be a similar situation. I don't think it's going to work out on their part, but that's just me. But I could see where you could sit there and be like, okay, maybe we take a chance on them. I don't know I guess Cam Reddish didn't fit in their system the way they wanted him to. I don't know.
I think a lot of it's just the Hawks. I mean, if you're DeAndre Hunter in this situation, I mean, you got to look at it as like, well, they're putting all their trust in me now because he'll get that, I guess, that 3 spot, right?
Yeah.
Which everybody and their mama knew that
DeAndre
Hunter was going to hold that spot down.
If there were any doubt, I mean.
That's nothing against Cam Reddish. DeAndre Hunter,
I agree.
Be pretty
but
good.
Like, Cam Reddish, unless this was like, it has to be a system fit because Kevin Knox, I don't think is even a good backup. He's not a good guy to put
Yeah.
in for bench minutes. He's not. And I love Kevin Knox to death, dude. Like he's been, when he has to go on the court, he plays hard. I mean, he's not very good, but at least he wants to be out there.
Yeah.
I don't know why it has to be a system fit, because unless Cam Reddish expressed like discontent being a bench guy, there's no point in like making that trade.
I will say though, on the Knicks side of this, you should got to be really happy because I mean, at least you're gonna have a little bit of chemistry to start with RJ and Cam.
Yeah.
At least them two are gonna have a little bit of a feel of each other. I mean, they know each other's play styles. I don't know if he talked to him, being what, a third year player, whatever, second, third year.
And I'm excited. I love the addition of Cam Reddish. I think it's a steal.
And Cam is a real good defender too, is he not? Like perimeter defense. Yeah. So and he's quick. I mean.
Yeah.
I like that.
I guess the
I
only
think
way
it's for sure a W for the Knicks.
Yeah,
I guess the only way to look at it as a Hawks fan is hoping it's setting up for a bigger trade.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know how it would work.
I heard y'all are thinking about getting rid of John Collins.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
What?
Yeah, I've heard they're thinking about it.
They love them some Gallinari, baby. I respect it.
And hell, they use him as their second or third best player. So
I mean, for the past 2 weeks, I've seen where we're looking at Ben Simmons and trying to open up a spot to get him. And I mean, I guess if that John Collins thing, that trade does happen, I mean, you start.
Did Collins not just get paid?
I thought he did.
Yeah, year or two ago.
Yeah. I don't know if that's more on John Collins' part or not. They want him to be out of there.
Well, who else is there? Is it Capella there?
Clint Capella's there.
That's probably why.
Who I think no.
Yeah, but he's not a center. He's a power forward.
I know he's not a center, but he's taking.
Yeah. Collins is playing the 4, and Capella's playing the 5.
I think it was something about Collins doesn't feel like he gets enough of the ball. I mean, he didn't get to do enough.
That's what happens when you play with Trae Young. But do you see how many Trae Young sets him up for? I don't know. Can't tell you how many alley-oops he's caught from him. I mean, Jesus.
Also, Capella's been hurt for a little while. Capella's been hurt for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So John Collins has been getting the time and the looks. So
do they still have Alex Lamb?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
Did he slide to the 5?
Who?
Collins, or is he staying at the 4?
I think he's at the 4. I think they have another guy at the 5.
Okay.
They might have Alex Lamb still. Okay.
I mean, Collins might be at the trade deadline though.
Yeah, he very well might.
Okay, see, build that young core. We got money. I like that.
Come to New York.
We got plenty. Wait, no, actually, no, I don't. We got Darius Baisley. I love me some Darius.
Baisley guy.
Yeah, huge Baisley guy.
Hold up, I'm looking right now so I can tell you. Their 5 that played last night was God, what's his name? Gorgie Jean, or however you say it.
Gorgie Jang or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, what about the Hawks, though? I had really high expectations of them after they picked up Bogdanovich, Rondo, all of them, Gallinari.
17 and 25 at the moment.
Yeah. Like, is this like a COVID thing? Had to go. I don't know how much attention you've been paying to them, but is it like COVID and injuries?
There were a couple of guys out last week. I know that was on the COVID protocol list.
Because I thought that they were good, like, with some of them pickups they got, I was like, dang, they're about to be a contender, kind of like how everybody expected the Bulls to be this year. Except the Bulls
are contenders, but
I know that's what I'm saying.
And
that's what I was expecting out of the Hawks.
You look at the run the Hawks made in the playoff last year and think, they're going to come out this year and be just as good or not better.
Memphis reminds me of the Hawks of last year, just hot all year.
Yep.
They're a lot more electric to me, though, just because of Ja.
Yep. Zach LaVine going down for the Bulls probably doesn't help their cause. They got destroyed by the Warriors a couple nights ago.
They've been on a cold streak for sure.
Yeah, and Zach LaVine going down does not help. So
they got Lonzo Ball out too.
Yeah, They're just injury prone, or they're injury plagued right now. I think they'll be okay once everybody gets back. DeMar DeRozan's still there. Who else is there? Vucevic.
What do y'all
is
think
there.
about them one-legged freaking buzzer beaters that dude's been having? Dude,
That
that's
was
crazy.
Awesome. I don't love the Bulls personally as a Knicks fan, but I do like Zach LaVine. I actually do like Vucevic as well. I think he's a pretty good center.
Vucevic is an animal.
Yeah, so
He's one of the most underrated players in the
Big man.
NBA, and it's not even close.
I like Vucevic a lot. I used to remember in my leagues back on like 2K19, I would always trade for Vucevic.
He was with Orlando, correct?
Yeah.
He was with Orlando.
Yeah. That's why. I mean, I couldn't tell you who's on Orlando right now.
Besides Cole Anthony and Mo
Bamba.
I think Mo Bamba's still there. All right, moving on from the NBA to college basketball. We haven't talked college basketball on this podcast, so it's making its Mad Dogs debut. And we actually sat down and watched a pretty good bit of college basketball on Saturday before the football games and the fight. So I just want to know y'all's thoughts on a couple of things. The first thing is Auburn did beat Ole Miss this weekend after Ole Miss got off to a hot start. Auburn won 80-71. I kind of felt it before the season, watching some things that Auburn was going to be the best team in the SEC. I think they are going to be the best team. Is there a team that rivals them right now, or is it kind of Auburn at the top and everybody else?
Auburn at the top.
Yeah.
Auburn at the top.
Yeah.
I would have about a week ago. I would have said
A&M
maybe
has looked
LSU.
good.
But
A&M has looked
LSU
good,
looked
but
bad.
they haven't really played anyone yet.
Man,
Also
LSU,
State.
Go ahead.
LSU was 15-1 going into that game at home against Arkansas. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a tough loss for
That
them.
was a good game.
I watched almost all of that game, and
Did you?
I think they're.
He
I'm
wasn't
not gonna
paying
say
attention a lot.
pretenders,
He was playing
but
COD with me.
I would have said
they
Tennessee.
still look bad. Like, it was a defensive game, and I thought Arkansas looked like the better team the whole time. So
Yeah.
that's what I got out of the game.
I would have said
Arkansas
Tennessee.
is a good team. Still.
Yeah.
No, they are. Yeah.
I know.
They had a
I'm,
great team last year.
that's not my point. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I thought LSU, with the record, and they were winning at home like by a lot against some decent teams, and then they come out with a clunker. And they had a late lead, blew it. I mean, offense really wasn't clicking. I wasn't too impressed with them.
The SEC as a whole, because we're going to probably talk a lot of SEC on this podcast, just because we're from Mississippi, we watch a lot of SEC. The SEC as a whole, though, is pretty strong. I would say it's pretty balanced. You got Auburn at the top, but like middle of the pack, LSU, Alabama, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina, all of those teams, Texas A&M, all of those teams are pretty decent. They fight. The SEC usually has two. You have Kentucky. You have a couple other teams that are going to make the tournament, and then you have kind of everybody else. But this year, I'd say it's pretty balanced. You might have 5 or 6 teams that make the tournament, or 4 or 5 teams that make the tournament, and 2 or 3 more that might be on the fringe. So I think the SEC as a whole is balanced, and that kind of makes it more fun to watch SEC basketball.
What did y'all think about the Kentucky beatdown on Tennessee the other night?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
'cause,
Do y'all think they make a push back towards the top?
They got the guys. They got the guys.
I mean,
There's
they
a lot of
tore
good
them
guys on that
up.
team. Yeah.
Mm.
Tennessee on the road this year has not played well when they have to leave Knoxville, and I think that has something to do with it. Kentucky at home, a really tough atmosphere, but I mean Tennessee's still a good team, and Kentucky put up 107 points.
That was ridiculous, dude. They couldn't miss.
So they play really good. Kentucky as a whole is somebody to look out for, kind of as a dark horse, because they could meet Auburn in that SEC tournament and give them a run for their money and end up upsetting them. But I like Kentucky.
Kind of
I
weird
wouldn't say at
calling
the top,
Kentucky
though.
a dark horse.
Yeah, it is.
Because like Auburn's got the SEC. I think Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah. But I mean, I think there's like you said, there's like 5 or 6 teams you could put Auburn against any given day. If they're on, they can beat Auburn. Ole Miss had them beat.
Yeah. LSU. I mean, LSU's another good example because I know they lost to Arkansas, but again, Arkansas is a good team. LSU was 15-1.
Yeah.
They beat Kentucky at home. I mean, they've already beat Kentucky. So LSU, I mean, pretty. I was kind of shocked because early in that, I think at halftime it was like 24-23. And I don't know what the final ended up being. But Hitch, you watched the whole game, but yeah,
a lot of defense.
But yeah, I mean,
one of the teams that we thought was going to be near the top was Alabama. They've lost 3 straight. They lost on the road to Missouri. They lost Auburn at home, and then they lost on the road to Mississippi State. They got to figure it out. They're kind of reminding me of Memphis. A lot of hype, not letting it show. Alabama just hasn't looked good. And State, I mean, credit to them. They made some big shots when it mattered. They were trailing in that game a lot of the game. I mean, their biggest lead was 7, and they got cut right back down to 2 and within a minute. So State, we'll talk about State in a minute, but Alabama with 3 straight losses, not something you want to see semi-early in conference play because, it is once you get rolling, it's hard to get stopped. But this was a team that we thought going to be at the top of the SEC, and 3 losses, the 2 of them not being, I mean, State's good, don't get me wrong, but they're a middle of the pack SEC team.
Yeah.
That Missouri loss is a tough one for them, though.
I think they were looking ahead to Auburn.
Missouri's not that good of a basketball team.
I mean, you're going to have some in college basketball. You're going to have nights like that, though. You just don't like to say it. 3 games in a row? I mean, that's what you don't want to say. You want to see them bounce back, and they didn't.
I mean, one loss you can kind of like, all right, well, let's get it all back together and come out the next game and play better. But I mean, if it's 3 in a row, there's definitely something going on there. It's got to be fixed.
It doesn't help also that they lost to Missouri in the next game they had to play was Auburn. So
that was a pretty bounce back game.
That was a pretty good game, right?
Auburn got up 14. I know midway to late in the second half, but I think Alabama closed the half, and it was like a 3-point game.
Yeah.
So Alabama claws at the end, dude. They fight till the end. That's why I think they're still good, right? Like, I think the game against Missouri was 92-86. You can't be giving them 92 points to Missouri.
No.
So, it is what it is. Mississippi State, big win at Alabama on Saturday. Bond was there.
Yes, sir.
Big win, needed that one. This week we have we're on the road in Gainesville, and then we play Ole Miss at home on Saturday. I would love to win both of those games. We are 12-4 right now. Next Sunday, this time I want to be talking about State again. I want to be 14-4 with still 1 loss in the SEC. Or is it 1 loss or is it 2?
Yep, it'd be 1.
Okay, so still the Ole Miss. So that's, I think these 2 games. If we were playing Florida at home, I would not be worried. But since it's in Gainesville, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah.
Because Florida's scrappy at home
this year.
I mean, they're 11-6. I mean,
okay, they're respectable.
10-6.
10-6. Sorry.
But they 1-3 in conference play.
Need to go and get a win on the road. I'm excited for this team. They've showed grit. They've showed heart. So our losses haven't been, as bad as I thought. Looking back at the Colorado State win, I think like last week they were 12-1. So I mean, we lose to Colorado State and they're still 12-1. So I mean,
I will say loss. Too, Ole Miss is kind of impressing me too. They haven't looked too bad.
Yeah, Ole Miss. I mean, they did fall short at Auburn, but they were off to a hot start. I think y'all got up in that game. I mean, again, you're playing the best team in the SEC on the road. So, I mean, it's not a big loss for y'all because a lot of people probably marked it as an L on the calendar, but that has to get you excited for the rest of the week and probably the rest of conference play.
A lot of these games Ole Miss is playing in, they look fine in the first half, and then they come out the second half look like a totally different team.
Yeah.
We scored 27 points that second half against Auburn. We scored 44 in the first. It's like they just stopped scoring.
Well, they made
Yeah.
adjustments. I mean, that's what good teams do, though. I
It's the
mean,
best team in the SEC. It's a top
Yeah.
tier team, and they're going to move up to the top 3 with Baylor losing 2 straight.
Ole Miss
so
is 1-3 in conference as well, with a bad loss to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Ole Miss shows promise. So I would. So Ole Miss plays Missouri at home on Tuesday, and then they go to Starkville. So need to win in Missouri before coming back to Starkville, I would say. Anything else in the SEC? I don't think so. Oh yeah, hold up. Kentucky and Arkansas, we talked about in a little bit. Big wins. I think they both needed those. But Tennessee, a bad loss, and I don't think LSU wanted a loss to Arkansas. They're going to have to turn it around with the midweek games. And I will tell you who both of those teams play in a sec if y'all want to talk about those 2 teams, because I know y'all watched a little bit of those games. Sorry.
Tennessee plays Vandy
Okay.
Tuesday.
Oh, that would be a pretty good one.
who plays
and
Vandy?
LSU
Tennessee.
plays on the
Tennessee.
road at Alabama on Wednesday.
Okay.
So there you go. Those if Alabama wants a game to turn it around, you'd be the ranked LSU team. I think that's a big game for them. So
Yeah.
last thing I want to talk about college basketball is Baylor has lost 2 straight. Lost last week against Texas Tech. I'm pretty sure they came home this week to face Oklahoma State and lost at home. Baylor, who I thought was the most complete team in college basketball, I thought they were, the best team, not by a good margin, but I think by a little bit. And they lose 2 straight conference games. One to a Texas Tech team, which I will say is pretty good, but one to an Oklahoma State team who is an average Big 12 team.
And it's not like they were just slight, like, winner or expected to win, like, slightly in those games.
Heavy favorites.
The spread, because I bet on both times, and I'm not doing that ever again on them, but
Don't
it was
bet
like
Baylor.
16 and a half and 14 and a half.
Yeah.
And then they lose by 10 or 8 or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Like, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And
It's
again,
like-
this is I still think they're a complete team. Yeah. Okay. So they lost to Oklahoma State by 7 at home. And then last Tuesday, they lost to Texas Tech by 3. So.
Right.
Yeah. So two losses again, it's conference is going to be a little bit different. I think they bounce back. They play West Virginia on Tuesday. West Virginia is I would say just an average college basketball team, maybe even a little bit below average. The spread's going to be big. Don't pick them spread right now.
Don't bet them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bet them.
Yep.
Give them a reason to make you want to bet that.
All right, boys, it is time for our ending segment as we wrap up episode 6. We're going to start with Dawgfight of the Week. If you don't know what Dawgfight of the Week is, it is our favorite matchups from the upcoming week. We think might be a pretty good game. And yeah, it could be any sport. It could be multiple games. And I guess I will start. I got a couple different sports. I'm going to start with tomorrow. Tomorrow, the Hornets are on the road against my Knicks. They play at the Garden. On MLK Day, I think the Knicks need a big win against a pretty hot Hornets team. If we can do that, then I think that will kind of fare some good luck in the near future. Also on Monday, on MLK Day, the Predators are at home against the St. Louis Blues, a big hockey matchup between 2 really hot teams, 2 teams that can score as well. I would bet the over in that game if you want to bet NHL, because I feel like they will both score, unless the over-under is at 6.5, then I would kind of be like, whatever. Finally, on Wednesday, I believe it's Wednesday. I want to get the day right. Wednesday night, the Maple Leafs and the Rangers. That is a big game in their division. Maple Leafs are on fire. They play on TNT, and the Rangers are playing at home. They need a big win at home to kind of shift the balance in their division. I think those are all 3 big games that kind of, set the tone for, playoff seeding and who gets in the playoffs. So, all right, Bond, go ahead with your dog fight of the week.
I have 3. I'm going to go all college basketball. My first one is number 10, Michigan State at number 13, Wisconsin on Friday. My second one is State Ole Miss Saturday. That's going to be a very anticipated game. I'll be there. And then my third, to wrap it up, is number 18, Kentucky at number 4, Auburn on Saturday.
That's a huge one. That is a big one. That's probably my favorite one of the week. I didn't even know they were playing Saturday. I kind of stayed away from college hoops. All right,
Yep.
Pedigo, go ahead with your dog fight of the week.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and go 2. The first one, I'm going to go to Wednesday night. It's the Bulls versus the Cavs. I don't know if y'all have the spread on it yet. I haven't seen it.
I would imagine it's Cavs minus 2.5.
Yeah,
that's
well,
I'm picking the spread. Cavs minus 2.5.
I like that spread, Wilkie. That's a good spread.
And then my second one, just for big games going into this weekend, I'm going to go Tuesday night. It's Missouri versus Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss needs to win that game going into state Saturday, playing them at Starkville. I think that'll be a big game deciding how Ole Miss plays against State, which both of them kind of need to win that game going forward.
Yeah. All right, Hitch, do you want to go ahead with your dog fight of the week?
Yeah, I got it. So Tuesday night, it's gonna be the Timberwolves and the Knicks. I think that's gonna be a good game. Timberwolves shown promise. I don't know if they're good enough to get over that hump in the West. And the Knicks are hot. I think that's gonna be a good little matchup right there. And then Sunday night, you got to go Bills Chiefs.
Yeah.
Got to.
Yeah. The predetermined AFC Championship, kind of one of the ones that happens early. All right, Avery, do you have any dog fights of the week?
Yes, first I'm going to go with tomorrow night, Bulls Grizzlies. It's going to be a really good game to watch. If I'm not mistaken, the Grizzlies are still on an 11-game win streak.
They just lost. They lost to the Mavs the other night, Friday night.
Oh, they need this game to bounce back then.
Bounce back.
They got to bounce back. They got to start a new win streak. They got to start streaking again. And then jump forward to Saturday, looking at the Bengals Titans. I feel like this is going to be a really good game.
Nice. All right. JoJo, go ahead with your dog fight of the week.
I'm going to go Friday, Warriors versus Grizzlies. It's Grizzlies versus Nuggets. Grizzlies versus Nuggets. And, Nuggets aren't the best team in the West, but I think they'll give you a good fight. I think that might be a good game on Friday night. Then we're going to go to Sunday, Bills and Chiefs. I mean, that's going to be an absolute shootout. And then I also think the Bengals and Titans on Saturday. It's going to be a really good game.
All right, last segment.
They didn't stand a chance.
Pedigo.
It'll be a good game, but Bengals are going to win.
Came up with this
Daniel's
segment, so we're
Jimmy
gonna
G.
do it. We're gonna do it real quick. I think we're gonna coin this term. We're gonna call it Dawgwatch of the week. And this is a guy in any sport that needs to be good in their matchup this week for their team to win. So, I want to go with. I think the best one that I can go with, I'm going to move to tomorrow night. Okay, I'm going to go to Monday night game. I think for the Rams to win this game, I think not only does Matt Stafford have to be good, I think Cooper Kupp has to be an elite target tomorrow night. I think Cooper Kupp's got to be open. I think Cooper Kupp has got to do his best job, best route running, best everything, to let Matt Stafford get him the ball and torch the Cardinals defense. I think that's their best chance of winning. I know they have more weapons, but I think Cooper Kupp is the most important because when he is hot, the Rams offense is hot. That's going to be my dog watch of the week.
I think Michelle's more important.
So I was going to go Derrick Henry with the Titans and say he needed a big game to beat the Bengals. But looking back at it, I mean, how long's Derrick Henry been out?
Like 5 weeks.
I mean,
4
luck
weeks.
or not,
No, it's been longer than that.
Luck or not,
he hadn't
8
played
weeks or
since
so?
week 4.
yeah.
4?
No, it's not week 4. He had like 1,200 yards. He wasn't averaging 300 a game.
You don't know.
Yeah,
I think it was.
I'm not
I
a
think it
fucking
was.
idiot.
I think it was week
7
like-
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Either
good bit ago.
You are an idiot, Hitch.
I was going to go
Jesus
Derrick Henry and say that he needed a big game to beat this Bengals team with their offense being as hot as they are. But looking back at the Titans season, ended up being the number 1 seed in the AFC. Luck or not, their offense kind of held their own against some pretty good teams through the stretch. So I'm going to go to the other side of the ball and say the Titans defense. If you can get pressure on Joe Burrow, kind of limit Jamar Chase and their young receivers, I think the Titans have a pretty good chance to win this ball game. I'm still picking the Bengals to win, but I think the defense for the Titans need to have a really good game to end up beating the Bengals.
All right, I agree with you. That front defense with Nico Autry, Jeffrey Simmons, they got to be really good. All right, Hitch, go ahead. Dog watch of the week.
JoJo's gonna love this one. I think it's gonna be Devontae Adams for the Packers. I think he's gonna have to be on to sit there and take down that 49ers team.
All right.
I think the whole offense revolves around him. I mean, and obviously Dillon. We love AJ Dillon. We love AJ Dillon. But I think it revolves around Devontae, and if he can't get going, I think the Packers are in trouble.
There you go. All right. Bond, you want to go with your dog watch of the week?
I'm going to go with J.J. Watt. He's making his return this tomorrow night. He's been out since week 7 with a shoulder injury, and if he can't play good, I don't see the Cardinals having any success.
All right. I like that one. Avery, do you have a dog watch of the week?
I have 2 actually, and they're kind of joined together at the hip.
Oh, here we go. I know.
I think. Shut up. I think Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase both have to be on the same page if they want to win this week.
Best connection in the NFL, am I right, Avery?
Can't argue there.
Currently.
Can't argue there. All right, JoJo, send us home. Dog watch of the week.
I've also got 2. I'm going to go with T. Higgins because I think Jamar Chase is going to get doubled. I think you're going to try to shut him down. T. Higgins is going to have a big week. And then I'm also going to go with, I love Devontae Adams, but I'm going to go with Allen Lazard.
Ooh.
Allen Lazard is going to have he is going to have a
it.
very big game. 2
He's been stepping
touchdowns,
up.
80 yards or so.
Love that one.
I said take us home. He took us home. All right. We appreciate you guys for listening. On Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not subscribed, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. You might as well subscribe.
Yeah, get with the
We got
program,
great
guys.
content. Yeah, idiots. Okay. And if you're on Spotify, follow and share it with your friends because we like that. All right. We appreciate you guys watching, listening. We will see y'all on Thursday. Have a great Monday.
What?
If you're off, have a great day. If you're not, then I really feel sorry for you.
If you have to call yourself a winner, then more than likely you're a loser. So,
Hey!
There
love
you
y'all.
go. See y'all.
Love you guys.
See y'all.
But